Hello YouTube. Today we are going to be training a bit of cupping, a bit of rising, and just a bit of everything. At least that's how my cycles are structured. For now, gonna do a bit of a warm-up. Not gonna record it to not bore you, but just make sure that you're always warming up, because if you warmed up correctly, to me at least, it's not even about the fact that you're not gonna injure yourself. At least to me, it's about the fact that you gonna recover faster, because I've noticed when I just started to do arm wrestling, when I did not warm up well, I noticed that my recovery the next day was way more worse than if I had to do the warm up. So yeah, just keep in mind to always warm up for at least 10 to 15 minutes, and just do your basic moves, like your basic neck movement, leg movement, arm movement, and then kind of proceed to more of an arm wrestling specific warm-ups with the band, and that will do. You can do it also with the dumbbell, doesn't matter. Just make sure that you get the blood flowing, man. First up, I'm gonna do the internal rotation, or at least that's what I call it, really. So drop in the comments what's the actual name of this exercise, but pretty much the main goal for it is to train a bit of a side pressure on when you go to the hook, like this. But in here, instead of also focusing on the cupping, I'm just focusing purely on the rotation, so on this kind of bit. And I just stand up like that one, rotate a little bit, so kind of going off the shoulder. And then I'm just bringing this one towards my chest, like this one. And so that way, for now, I'm just warming up. And yeah, that way, I'm really training this inside move of going like this one. Even though I'm not really a big fan of going to the hook, I just know that I still need to train that, so that if I had to go to the hook, it just feels more easier. Yeah, so just gonna do the warm-ups for now before proceeding to the working sets. But yeah, as again, I'm keeping my angle close to as if I were to pull someone. So I'm just trying to mimic the exact angle of myself pulling, and then rotating myself a little bit, and then just bringing my arm like this one. So I'm not actually pushing with my body. I'm just, bringing it towards my chest like this one. Of course, if I'm training like super heavy, if I'm training on 5 reps, for example, then I might kind of include a little bit of my body as well. But for example, for this training, I'm just starting out the cycle and it's very lightweight. So I'll just purely focus on still maintaining an okay weight for myself, and also, keeping the form proper to just, mind muscle connection, baby. All right, let's add some more weight. All right, 25 kilos. First working set. Need to get 10. I'll get 10. So let's go.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, still go. Go, 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 go,
And static.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I've gone through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the ingredient.
Nice. So that was 25 times 10. The last workout I did, I had 25 on 8. So having 10 now, and considering that I had like 5 in the tank, I could add more, technically, like 1 kilo more, because it felt quite easy. But I wouldn't. Just so, I grow the weight slowly, because already I jumped 2 kilos in a week. So I just don't want to add another 2 again. Because that would be a bit too stupid. So yeah, I'm going to keep that. Quite happy. Nice. Okay, next up we've got the riser. So as I said, I'm doing it not isolated, but I do it actually with the brachioradialis. So I just stand like this, again, trying to maintain the position in which I'm going to be pulling, like this, inside, really nice, and then like this. What the fuck? Okay, all good. All right, yeah, so stand like this, and then I just do this one. Just keeping in mind that I'm having this cable, or this thingy, just right. I'm gonna show actually. I'm keeping it just, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, let's see. Yeah, so I'm just keeping it over here. So I'm not putting it on the knuckles, because there are some people who put it on the knuckles, like this one, and call it a riser. But to be honest, if you put it like here, you'll not only be able to put more weight, because all the tension goes from the riser to your whole hand. So don't trick yourself, put it over here, just in between, not too close to the left, not too close to the right, just in the middle. And then that way you'll feel the most. Right, adding more weight. And whilst I'm resting, I just wanted to talk about one thing. So I've been training for like a year, and every time I was kind of structuring my splits and the way to train and blah, 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 I was always trying to look for someone who's like really good at arm wrestling on YouTube, for example, and more or less replicate what they were doing. And it took me like a year to realize, because I was, for example, doing those exercises on this one, and then I had to come to the table, and nothing has changed, like literally nothing. Even though the weights that I was doing here, they were progressing, they were getting like higher and higher incrementally, slowly, but still. But on the table, there was no difference. And yeah, you can say that, well, everybody else are getting stronger as well, which is totally true. But then I come to realize that main problem that I had is that I was doing the exercises in here that were not reflecting the way I pull. For example, if I'm pulling with the top roll, I'm doing more of a posting style top roll where I'm trying to really maintain the height and then go. But when I was doing it on a table, I was trying to focus more on this kind of dragging top roll, so actually working through your lats. And then, yeah, I was getting stronger here, but I wasn't applying it on a table. And so now, from 2 months before, I've kind of restructured my training. So now I'm only doing the exercises which literally reflect the way I pull. And the way I did it is just I literally came up to the table without these cables or anything, imitated the way I pull, and then I started to, play around with these things, with different handles, and kind of, trying to figure out what are the ways to pull. Because even though, for example, you're pulling in a hook, and it feels kind of self-explanatory, you just hook and drag. But again, not everybody hooks and drags. Some people just maintain more of a side pressure. Some people go to the triceps. And again, for example, I myself, I'm more of a hook presser than dragger. I don't like, my lats are very weak. And again, I was training them. But then when I was pulling somebody, I was actually pressing. And then I was like, where is my strength? I'm training here. Why? And then I was like, you are fucking dumb. The main reason was that what I've trained at home did not reflect my pulling. So if you have the same problem, just try to think through the way you pull and just come up to the table, imitate that without the weights, and then add the weights, like 5 kilos, and test it out. And so that's how, at least in my opinion, right? So I'm still a beginner. That's how I structured it, and that's how, at least in a span of 2 months, I've started to see results. So yeah, just give it a go. All right, enough yapping. Let's warm up, continue to warm up. All right, yeah, 20 kilos start to feel a bit heavy, Okay, 25 kilos. Let's do it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go, go. every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief.
Ah, fuck, yeah. I guess I'll drop it down to 22.5. Because 25 feels a bit bad. Okay. Okay, last set for the riser. I had 3 in total, so that's going to be the third one. Long story short, I decided to not drop the weight. I thought that I'll get through that, because one of the reasons why it felt weird on the left is because the weight was slightly to the right, and so I was pulling to the kind of opposite direction, so I just moved those weights to be in front of me, so it's like more natural. Because when I started to do the first set, I felt like, not that my riser gives up, as if my bone just, tilts to other kind of direction, which felt unnatural. So I think that should help. Well, at least it helped on the second one. Let's see how the third one works. But this one feels fucking heavy. I don't know why. Like, I was happy with the first exercise, but with this one, yeah, I don't know why. And that's always the question of the arm wrestling. Like, even though you feel good, sometimes something just doesn't work. And yeah, you just kind of need to get through that, because yeah, I guess that's the part of arm wrestling. You never know what will be weaker and what will be stronger. It's like fucking surprise all the time. All right. In the position we go.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah,
I don't know why it just slips
just
through.
flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, fuck the left one. Oh, God. Well, yeah, I guess we'll count 7 on the left one and easy 10s on the right one. Nice. On that note, let's just also enjoy how beautiful the view is. I wish that whilst I'm working out, in front of me would have not been the building, but something else. But yeah, still quite a cool view to oversee whilst working out. Whew. Now we're going to be moving to doing some cupping. I guess you can call it cupping. So yeah, just gonna imitate the initial top roll move with the wrist, meaning gonna imitate that kind of movement. And yeah, let's get cracking with that one. Right, so I'm doing it with the wrist wrench always, and I'm for the most part using the 40 millimeter, even though this one is custom made, so I don't think it's 40, it's like 45 or something. But anyways, doing it with this one, and the main reason why I do it with this one rather than getting out and taking the more bigger one like 60 is because I want to focus really on the movement, right? So instead of actually focusing on the fingers, I want to focus on an actual cupping and getting into the position. And for the fingers, you'll also see I'll have another exercise which focuses primarily on the fingers. It's also with the wrist wrench, which is going to be with the 60 millimeter wrist wrench. Yeah, but for this one, using the 40, and yeah, let's just do a couple of the warm-ups. And again, the way I do it, I just stand out to the position from which I usually be pulling from. I lock in my pronation, because that's always what I recommend to everybody do, is like lock in your pronation all the time. So I lock in my pronation, I grip it, I take it, and then I kind of imitate this move. Like so. One thing, if you were to go and do that, just always look here. Of course, you have to look at your hand, how it works whilst you're doing your set, but also look here, because once I almost injured myself, because as you do these movements, since the hold pressure goes more towards this one, that could kind of slip through, and yeah, you can just hurt yourself. So yeah, just make sure that you look at your hand and everything whilst you are doing this exercise. And also, just one thing to mention that I'm always doing it, not always, okay, I'm doing it with a closed hand. So I don't know if you will see that, but I'm kind of closing my hand and doing it like this one. But this is in this training because I also have this exercise on another day. And on another day, I actually put my thumb around it and do it like this one. So I kind of cover both things together. All right, more weight. Okay, 17.5 kilos. Let's do that.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work like I got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Took until I have everything I attack. Everything that I lack, everything that I want. And I see, matter of fact. Cause I'm my own worst enemy.
Good. Yeah, so going back to the conversation that I had about adjusting your exercises to the way you pull. For example, when I was working with the wrist range, I was always doing it like this. So I would do the same thing, but I would just cup normally. And that way you can get more weight, like really more, like I think twice as what I'm doing right now. But again, the problem was that I wasn't pulling like this, and there's no really way to pull like this because that's in the middle. That's not over the top, and that's not inside. And so, since again, specifically, I started to do this exercise, which is focusing, well, you can call it a high hook, right? So we're just focusing on this top cup. I've started to feel like how my cup gotten way stronger. So yeah, just the thing that changed my arm wrestling game, at least in the first 2 smart months. All right, and next up, I'm going to be doing a static hold on fingers. And this time I'm going to be doing it with the 60 millimeter. Oh, I'm not actually sure if this is a 60, but on a more thicker one. As you can see, like my hand downs in it. And I'm going to be doing a static hold with the primarily focus on those 2 fingers. So I'm going to be holding it like this, but then I'm going to be applying more pressure towards those fingers. And the main reason is that there's a very good guy who told me one tip about riser and specifically the top roll, because I was talking to him and he told me that one of the problems that might occur to some people is when they're losing their riser, it's not really about the fact that their riser is weak. It's about the fact that those fingers are weak. And if somebody opens them up, specifically if top roll against the top roll, if someone cracks the fingers just a little bit, it's way harder to maintain the riser because the fingers are already sort of opened and they're kind of pushing back. So that's why I was kind of always neglecting training fingers. And then after he told me that, I realized it actually kind of makes sense. And even though still the strong riser is the most kind of important part of not losing the riser, but still, if it even gives 2% strength to the riser, then I am absolutely for any percentage. So yeah, let's work on the fingers.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work like I got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Took until I have everything I attack. Everything that I lack, everything that I want. And I see, matter of fact, 'cause I'm my own worst enemy.
That was definitely 10 seconds. Whew, okay. That was 27.5. I think I'll keep doing 27.5. I'm gonna go to 30 because again, on the left one I'll probably hold 30. On the right one, no. So just gonna keep that. No, oh god, fingers are just absolutely crunking. Oh, nice. All right, so last one for the workout would be pronation in isolation. There are so many ways to do this. One of the ways I do it is doing it like this one. So you can do it in 10,000 ways as long as this part of your hand stays static and the only thing that you're working on is pronation. So every time you engage the brachialis, that's when pronation doesn't work fulliest. But if you want to actually just target the pronation, then just do some isolations where only part that moves is your hand and you pronate. So one of the ways you can do that is you hold it like this, do it like this from the weights. Another way you can do that is standing like this and doing it from here. But what I do is I just grab it. Again, the ways you grab it also, at least to myself, there is two. First is just grab it like this one. So it goes through the hand because that way it opens it up and makes my pronation work. And second one is, like putting it through the finger like this one. So two ways. But again, I do prefer the first one. So I'm just grabbing it like this, standing like this, and doing it pretty much like this. I'm just warming up. So yeah, just doing the little movement. Also, what helps is to actually hold your hand with, like your arm with another hand, so that you kind of prevent the little, getting your hand up, because that just comes naturally. The moment you have hard times to, like work it through the pronation, you automatically start to engage your whole arm and you kind of want to, put it a bit up. So what helps again is just, maintain this and like press it a little bit. Like this. So kind of keeping my hand always close to the surface. Yeah, in terms of the weights for that one, it is 7.5 now, probably gonna be 10 max. Yeah, so for that one, you shouldn't go super heavy because this is a very isolated movement. There's no need to put so much weight, and also there is no need to do 5 reps, 4 reps, 6 reps, because if you do that, the chances are you're gonna cheat 100%, because I've tried it once. I was planning to, like do the same periodization where I would do, like I do for normal exercises, 12, 10, 8, 5, whatever. And I tried to do this one in another execution from here, times 5. Man, that was horrible, because I was just, instead of pulling with the pronation, with just the pronation, I was, I was like, ugh, fucking hell, just pulling with my whole body and thinking, yeah, I'm gonna write it down in my notebook like I did fucking 25 times on just isolated pronation, which is, in reality, I was just lying to myself, and it was just 0 times 5. So yeah, don't lie to yourself, lower the weights, do a proper form, feel this little ball in your hand, and things will be good. All right, let's do it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep 10 kilos. Oh wait, no, yeah, it's 7.5 kilos. Not gonna go higher. I think that's enough. Oh, whew, nice. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more sets. Not gonna record it to just not bore you, and then I will show you how I'm recovering, because in my opinion, recovery is to me, even more crucial than the actual workouts. And yeah, I'm gonna just walk you through my recovery after the workouts as well. Whew. Okay, now the best part, the massage gun. So I have my massage gun. Well, if you are from Finland, I bought it from Normal for I guess like 30 euros or something. So it's quite cheap, and it has different, I don't know what you call them, different adjustable elements. I don't really use much of them. I only use this one. So I don't know if you can see that, but the bigger one, and quite self-explanatory. The bigger one is for the bigger muscles like chest, back, and also do it for the biceps because it feels better. And then there is this one, the smaller one, and I use it for the forearms specifically. And so after every workout session, I go about and do use that one. In terms of the timings, I usually keep it low key, just 3 minutes per hand per arm, and I'm just going through the hand specifically from where I train the most. So if I feel tension on the pronator, I'll focus more on these. But overall, whole arm. Just make sure if you to use it, do not go on the bones because that would be painful and that would not be very good. But yeah, I think for me, that thing was like a game changer in terms of the recovery. Like, I mean, it might be just the placebo effect, but to me, it has worked. And specifically good after the pulling sessions. I use it all the time now. And I just noticed that my recovery became, I don't know, twice faster than without it. So yeah, just really nice thing to add to Arsenal. Also, I am doing it not only after the workout, so for example, I do it now, but also if I feel like I want to, I also do it the next morning because there's a bit of scientifically, I'm having hard times to explain it to you because my physiotherapist told me to do that and he explained to me very nicely. But when you do it after the workout, like I do it right now, you are removing lactic acids, and when you do it tomorrow, for example, you just increase the blood flow. So that's kind of the difference between types of different daily recoveries. So again, I do it after the workout, and I also do it the next day after the workout as well, specifically in the morning. And just one thing to mention that if you are using a massage gun, do not train that day because that relaxes your muscle. And if you go about and train after you use the massage gun, you'll hurt yourself and your strength will be down. So yeah, don't do it. Just don't. All right, training done. I'm gonna be wrapping up the video. Like if you would want to see more of those kind of training videos, I mean, anyways, I'm gonna still post them regardless of the likes. And yeah, leave any questions that you would have regarding the arm wrestling or any topic that you would want me to cover in the next videos. In between sets, I can be talking about them. Yeah, so how the coach Ray says, stay strong and love arm wrestling.